always drawn towards the people side. The people side is really what got my heart, even at BCG, where strategy is the most important thing you can do. I kept seeing us put all of this time and effort into creating great strategies that never went anywhere. And why? Right? Why did those beautiful strategy books just sit up on the shelf? It wasn't because they're wrong, because they're always right, because I did them. But it's because the people weren't aligned. And I realized, wait, there's more than just being smart. There's more than just IQ. There's this thing called EQ. And so I got into this field, I say 15, I guess it's 16 years ago now, as we all get a little bit older, and fell in love with the idea of understanding talent and solving talent problems for companies. And I would do that as a practitioner, but I kept seeing my clients ask me for, Craig, teach us what you're doing. How come you're able to produce such good results when you do your assessments, but you find things that we've missed, and when we don't use you, we have our typical hiring approach, our hiring outcomes. So I developed a training program around that. I then developed a platform around that to implement structured interviewing at scale. I'm going to do my absolute darndest to tell you very little about that today. This is not a sales pitch. I want to give you actionable advice to take away and implement on your own. But that's where my expertise comes, and that's why I'm up here talking to you all today. I assume a lot of you have come today because, as Jesse and I were talking about this just 10 minutes ago, you hire a candidate because the individual who shows up for the interview is wonderful. They have all the right answers to the questions. They show up well cut. They show up with energy, enthusiasm. And then the real person shows up to come to work. Right? And that person who's that rock star who we're betting all of our future on, 6 months later, we're processing termination paperwork for. Right? Someone seen that before? I think I heard one murmur, or maybe everyone in here murmur, yes? Right. So you're not alone. There's a very sobering statistic. There is a very sobering statistic. Promise you it's sobering. There we go. 82% of new hires will not achieve the success you hope them to have. Right? Now are you awake? If you haven't had coffee, this should work for you. 49%, this is according to a 2016 Leadership IQ study that looked at 16,000 hiring scenarios. And they found that 49% of the people hired were not there 18 months later. So that's clear failure. 33% still were, but were rated as generally mediocre in their roles. It was the 18% that were rated as truly highly successful, delivering what we hoped they would deliver. That's a really bad outcome. And think about all the hours of work that we all put into getting it right to have that sort of an outcome. And it doesn't have to be that way. It can be much better, but we have to change the way we go about interviewing.